See how this line will just like, it sort of sets up a boundary or something. I don't know. It's just a process. I'm used to like really painting quite fluidly, and the oil paint has more of a drag, and I have to get used to that. But I also like to scumble, and it's oil. That's what oil paint is good for. You can scumbling is just like, making this like scumble the paint around, and it takes on a more textural quality. This series started with a conversation of a contemporary artist and had damaged liver because of the medication that she took. And I was horrified. But somehow this artist in town, she got on the top of the list. And so she was able to come home, and she started to heal a little bit better and get stronger. This orange blob started to appear. It was like this abstracted form, but I had painted on this before. And I just got into one each separately. I usually work many pieces at a time, but I worked one at a time. And the box happened because I always have just squares or circles in my work. And they started to develop, and I got more and more into it and made the boxes really at different places. I had inside of me that they were not like blessings, but it was the only way I could transfer my feelings of a contemporary artist of mine, like having to suffer so much. Then all of a sudden I got a call that they found a liver. And I had been working on this big painting for some time in the summer, and all that was happening was this same orange blob. I just completed it. Put the square box on and for the day, I guess. And the whole town, well, and people that know her, really started to like participate. Some people were cooking for her and taking meals over for her. And it was the whole energy of it was what Provincetown's about and what the artist community's about. And
right.
I really fell into that, and there was so much gratitude that I felt towards others in this town, other artists, and how caring and loving, and I felt like it made the liver come over, fly over in the air.
Couldn't have hurt.
And in a box or whatever, and she had to get to Boston in 3 hours, and it was like miraculous. So I felt a nice completion with the work. Like, and a lot of people would clean this up. And nothing I do is perfect, and I don't want it to be. So when that dries, like, I'll kind of fade it out. This one here,
Yeah.
I kind of just go over it lightly. I started to take photographs with Polaroid film. I think I got an SX70 years ago, and I was really into Polaroids, but I wasn't so much into them until I photographed, and the film that I had was out of date. So because it was out of date, I decided to take pictures of myself. And I did a series called I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up. So, I take these pictures down on the floor, and then I'd oil paint them into these weird characters, and that series completely sold. I mean, I didn't take that many, but that was the beginning of taking portraits of people. And so I was coming down to Provincetown in the summer, and it took me 6 months to get a little booth in front of the aquarium in Provincetown. And I was going to take portraits of people so that I could support my artwork. I was always trying to figure out how to support my artwork. I got the permit. I set up shop. I set a table, and I always had to break it down every day. Then I would take the portrait, and then I would manipulate it, put glasses on, make them funny, silly, and they went away with an oil painted Polaroid for $25. But that was 1993. And I took a lot of pictures of a lot of the old storefronts in town, and I made a set of cards. So I would get color copies of the Polaroids, and I'd sit and make cards all day long by hand. I got the white cards, I'd cut the squares of the image, paste them on, and then pack them with envelopes and sell them for $12 a pack. It's like... Anyway, the long and the short is that the cards became my first book. And it was called Provincetown East West. And they published 5,000, and it sold out right away. And as I went along, I had the Polaroids as a sort of a commercial means for myself to think about a way to make money. I got 2 weeks out at the Dude Shack. I got to 2 weeks, and I went out there thinking that I was going to do my abstract work. So they let me have my dog, and then all of a sudden, my dog was going all over the dunes, and I was following him, and I started to take Polaroids of him. It was like so beautiful. He was like leading the way to the dunes, to the ocean, and the outhouse, and inside the shack, and I felt like, oh my goodness, I think I have a book here. We had a book signing party, and I showed my abstract work in the back, and it was just glorious. I could show two parts of myself. Right. And I always said, like, my Polaroids are my commercial side, but it's really a major part of my work. I love taking the pictures. I love communicating with the people and being outside in that way with the work, and then going home and then painting them. Oh. Yeah, so I'll just like embellish maybe the light, like see this here, and then I'll come in with the darker to put it all together. I stopped doing oil painting because of the toxicity of it, and I was working so large, but I've started to go back into painting with oils, which are those pieces there and the pieces behind you. Just because I miss it. I do like painting in oil. But the other pieces that I have are gouache, and I like painting in gouache too, but I won't use acrylic. All of my shows are titled Not Perfect, because I'm definitely not a perfect painter or a perfect anything. But this series I want to be called Showing Up is really a valuable quality to have, to show up. Showing up for good friends, or showing up for people that are ill, or just helping people. And it just sort of feeds my work too.
And showing up for yourself.
I think that's probably what it's really about. I remember when I first came to Provincetown, I went to a show over near the tennis courts, and Richard Baker was showing there. I had no idea who he was. I met him, and we had a really nice talk, and he said to me one thing that I will never forget. He said, "You know what, Barbara? Nothing else matters if you just keep painting. You can't, there's no way of getting around it. You have to keep painting. If you don't have to do it, then don't do it."